Please welcome our next keynote, Brian Campbell.
I just want to say there's an unwritten law in the event planning industry that you got to let a man know that he has to follow a Navy SEAL, right? We had 24,000 nautical miles, 35 stops in 15 countries, prepping for the crossing of the North Atlantic, overflying the tip of Greenland, flying up to Iceland, down to Scotland, England, France, Greece. The flight to California from Hawaii was 15.0 hours, all over water with one engine. But what we had done was break a world record. Youngest person, first teenager in history to fly solo around the world. Despite doing everything that I could in my experience and power, it wasn't enough. And what resulted was a horrific plane crash. He cut me out of that aeroplane and took me to hospital as the only survivor. I saw Ben. This is Ben. He was in his early 30s. He was mopping his girlfriend's floor. He slipped over and hit his head. He broke his neck and he's a quadriplegic. Well, 6 months later, scrolling Facebook, I saw something for sale in a place called Jackson, Georgia. So I drove down there and I bought this. Yeah, this is Flow. It is by far the worst financial decision I've ever made in my life. Overheated 7 times, took us 2 days to get home. Adventure has been a huge part of my life. I want to encourage you to go out there and lock in that next step. Think of Andrew and just tackle something that you've put to the side, right? I want you to expect turbulence on the horizon. I want to make sure that you always slow down. Give yourself the opportunity to analyze, extract and store and learn from it before you move on. That's incredibly important. If we're not using today's turbulence to tackle tomorrow's storms, then what are we doing, right? It is so incredibly important. But I also want to remind you that just like that aeroplane, we can't fly all day, every day. We have to give ourselves a break. So step back. I want you to remember that guy who stood on the stage in the middle of Milwaukee who was from West Texas, and I want you to remember him. I want you to remember Andrew, and I want you to remember Ben, I want you to remember Flo, and I want you to remember that question that you were asked. What's your pink Cadillac? You guys have been amazing. We'll see you at the happy hour. Thank you.